Jean Baudrillard saw it coming with, well, terrifying clarity. The French philosopher mapped our journey from reality to simulation through 4 stages: reflection of reality, masking of reality, absence of reality, and finally, pure simulacrum, copies without originals. Cinema, he argued, was central to this progression. But even Baudrillard might be stunned by just how completely his prophecy has manifested. We're not just watching simulations anymore, we're living in them. Black Mirror serves as our dark oracle, each episode a warning about the next layer of simulation. But here's the twisted irony. By watching these warnings, we normalize them. The show doesn't prevent the futures it depicts, it acclimates us to them. We see social credit scores in Nosedive, then barely flinch when China implements them. We watch Be Right Back resurrect the dead through AI, then download apps that animate deceased relatives. Baudrillard would recognize this as simulation's final victory. We mistake the map for the territory, then forget there ever was a territory. Cinema began as what Baudrillard called first-order simulation, reflecting reality. Films showed us the world. Then came second-order simulation, films that masked reality, presenting idealized or distorted versions. Think Hollywood's version of war, love, or heroism. Third-order simulation arrived when films referred mainly to other films, when quotation and pastiche replaced observation. Marvel movies don't reflect reality or even mask it, they exist in pure reference to their own fictional universe. But we've passed into Baudrillard's 4th stage, pure simulacra. Films like The Matrix or Inception aren't about reality or illusion, they're about the impossibility of distinguishing between them. More crucially, they train us to accept this impossibility as normal, even desirable. We learn to prefer the simulation. Black Mirror pushes further, depicting worlds where simulation has completely replaced reality. San Junipero offers digital afterlife as salvation. USS Callister shows consciousness trapped in entertainment. Bandersnatch makes us complicit, turning viewing into a choose-your-own simulation experience. Each episode adds another layer, another level of recursive simulation until we lose track of which level we're on. Baudrillard warned that in the age of simulation, events would be produced for their media effect rather than their reality. We're there. Politicians govern through tweets, creating policy as performance. Influencers stage lives for Instagram, their reality existing only as content. Wars are planned for their CNN coverage. The simulation hasn't replaced reality, it's revealed that what we called reality was always already simulation. Cinema prepared us for this. Decades of increasingly sophisticated special effects trained us to accept the impossible as real. CGI doesn't just create fake worlds, it makes us comfortable with fakeness itself. When everything can be digitally altered, nothing needs to be real. Deepfakes are just the logical conclusion of a process cinema started. But here's where Baudrillard meets our earlier discussions of co-creative reality. If everything is simulation, then simulation becomes our reality creation tool. Black Mirror doesn't just warn, it manifests. By imagining dystopian futures with such compelling specificity, it provides templates for their implementation. The show becomes a catalogue of coming attractions, each episode a potential timeline we might collectively choose. The pandemic accelerated our passage into full simulation. Zoom replaced presence, screens mediated every interaction. Digital became primary and physical secondary. We learned to prefer the controlled environment of the simulation to messy reality. Striking Vipers predicted it perfectly. Why have real relationships when simulated ones offer more control, more intensity, more safety? Contemporary cinema has given up pretending there's a reality to reflect. Films are franchises, expanded universes, intellectual properties, simulations referring to simulations in infinite recursion. When Martin Scorsese said Marvel movies weren't cinema, he was identifying this shift. They're not failed films, they're successful simulations, and simulation has different goals than art. Baudrillard believed we'd lost the ability to distinguish map from territory. But what if that's not loss but evolution? What if accepting simulation as primary is the next stage of human consciousness? Black Mirror episodes like San Junipero hint at this. Simulation not as trap but transcendence, offering immortality, infinite possibility, escape from material limits. The danger isn't simulation itself, but unconscious simulation. When we forget we're in layers of constructed reality, we lose agency. But conscious navigation of simulation, understanding it as reality creation technology, offers unprecedented power. We can build new worlds, new selves, new possibilities. The real Black Mirror moment isn't any specific technology. It's the realization that we're already several layers deep, that what we call reality is constructed through screens, that we prefer it this way. The question isn't how to return to some authentic real. That's a nostalgia for something that never existed. The question is how to consciously inhabit and create within the simulation layers. Baudrillard ended in despair, seeing only the death of meaning. But meaning doesn't die in simulation. It multiplies, becomes mutable, open to conscious creation. If everything is simulation, everything is possible. Welcome to the desert of the real. Turns out it's more interesting than reality ever was.